Hey, grace and peace, and happy new year to each and every one of you. I'm Adrian Starks, and I just wanted to come on and share with you for a moment um, regarding not quitting, not quitting. And I shared a little bit about this in our recent watch night service, but it's something that I can't shake because I initially talked about Twitch. Stephen Boss, who we affectionately have come to call Twitch, and it's um, it's amazing when you think about this young man who had so much in his hand and so much that we would consider to have been blessing, and um, and yet we also know that something wasn't quite right, right? Something was off, and while we can't put our finger on everything about what was wrong, what we can say is that there was something that was off balance. It was misplaced. It was hiding, if you will. But I still contend that this man had so much to live for, and I want to say that to you. I don't know if we can say that he had reached his highest pinnacle. I don't know if he has reached um, the zenith of his potential, if you will. And I think we can say the same thing about us. And so, no matter where we are here at the head of this new year, and we have an opportunity to continue to climb. We have this opportunity to continue to rise. And I want to encourage you to do that, even if you feel like the odds are stacked against you and you don't have as much as somebody else may have. The story is told that Twitch didn't have much in the early days, and yet he continued to climb and ascend. And truth of the matter is, no matter how much you have or don't have at birth, we all are born with purpose and destiny. That destiny is something that won't just appear, but must be pursued, or it won't be achieved. Whether we're talking about education, business, family, art, politics, athletics, and so on, life is about pursuing. Life is about getting in the game and going hard after the things that we want and the things that we really feel that we're called to, pursuing a higher goal, because it won't just come to pass. It's something that is intertwined with decisions, is intertwined with presence, it's intertwined with partnerships and advocates and seasons. And so success is personal, but uh, even still, success has levels, and with each level, we should expect different levels of adversity and even opposition to us going to the next level. And so this is why we have to become committed. We have to become committed to being resolute against quitting. Um, we have to be willing to wave a flag. We have to be willing to talk to somebody and say, I need some help. I'm trying not to throw in the towel. I don't want to quit, but I'm really feeling the extra burden. And that's the reason why I said it's about, pursuing our destiny is also about partnerships. And so I ask you a question: who are you partnering with in life? Who is it that is walking with you and working with you? Because sometimes in the pursuit of our destiny, it can get lonely, right? And quitting can even become a part of our thought process. But let me tell you something: quitting is the guaranteed barrier. It's the guaranteed barrier that denies our greater success. Quitting is connected to lies, lies about our ability to succeed, and our vision and our dreams. And so I wanted to have you wrestled with um, this bear that often we call quitting? Have you toyed with the idea, the notion that it's not worth you continuing on? This fight is something that is common to most people, to most people who are considered to be successful. Um, what if you were one step away, though? I want to give you this to ponder. What if you were just, if you knew that you were just one step away from what it is that you were in pursuit of? You see, the reality is that all of us can very well be that much closer to the place that we're wanting to uh, arrive. We're closer than we think we are. But the pain of the process, the disappointment of the process, oftentimes makes us think that we're further away than we actually are. And so, you know, the temptation to give up is one thought that every one of us has faced, because life is about growing as we journey, and growing pains are an inescapable part of the process of growth. So consider this statement. Quitting is judging yourself. No one wants to be judged, which is why so many people have remembered that portion of the scripture that says, judge not lest you be judged. And yet, when you choose to quit, you are judging, you become the judging force that is concerning your efforts. When you quit, think about this, you become the judging force concerning your own efforts. And so I just really want to encourage you to reach out to somebody that you feel that you can trust, and talk about where you are. You know, share where you're struggling, share where you're hurting, share where you feel like you're losing, because sometimes just getting it out is enough for us to be able to refill our tank, right? But I want to give you 7 principles about our journey in life towards success that you should never lose sight of along the way. I'm going to give you these 7 principles, okay? The first one is, no success is instant, but is the byproduct of sustained effort and presence in a particular path of life. No success is instant, but is the byproduct of sustained effort and presence in a certain path of life. That's the first principle. Okay? That's the very first. Because you choose to be in that path, and you stay in that path of pursuit, not just existing, right? But you're in pursuit. I say it this way: longevity pays dividends, right? And some things are not just going to happen overnight. When you are pursuing something, it's typically different than what our normal daily routine is, right? And so sustained effort in a particular path will bring success. Number two, your success is tied to timing and tenacity. Your success is tied to timing and tenacity. All right? You can't just get into a thing and believe that it's going to be easy. Those things that are easy, anybody can do. The reason why so many people are not in the higher levels of things is because success is not intended. It was never meant to be easy. Okay. So timing and tenacity will produce success for those who are willing to generate the push that sometimes is going to need to get beyond adversity. Number three, your success matters more to your community than you realize. If you are pursuing something and it's not going to bless somebody beyond you, then I would suggest to you that there's more for you to do than just that thing. Because real vision moves us beyond just ourselves. The great achievements in life are those things that are able to bless others more than just ourselves. Number four, the difficulties associated with success are more fueling and worthwhile than your ease. That's number four. The difficulties associated with your success are more worthwhile and more empowering than your ease. So many times people are looking for easy street, and easy street is never going to be rewarding. Okay. Number five, you're not having what you want is simply, you're not having what you want yet simply means there is something else that you must learn to obtain it first. You not having what you want yet simply means that there's something else for you to learn that you have not obtained yet. Because becoming great, becoming successful is a journey, and there's a lot for you to learn along the way. All right, let me give you number six. You need to let go of unproductive patterns and people who may be inherently good, but not good for your becoming. You need to let go of unproductive patterns and people who may be inherently good, but not good for your becoming. This is the principle of letting go. Sometimes we have to let go of patterns of behavior, and sometimes we have to let go of people, because those things may have been good in a prior season. Those individuals may have been good in a prior season, but in order for you to make the next step forward, you may have to release some things. Finally, number seven, you must become comfortable with change, because success is cumulative change. If you couldn't grasp all of these seven, I'm going to put them on our page on Victorious Living, and we'll just label it the seven principles of success, and you can go there and pick these up. But number seven, I believe, is so crucial. It's so powerful and so important for you to get, because by human nature, we are adverse. We're creatures who are adverse to change. But you've got to find a way to embrace change. Again, number seven is you must become comfortable with change, because success is cumulative change. If you are someone who refuses change all the time, then guess what? That would even include you're refusing your success, because success is a change. You're changing from a prior level of being unsuccessful or a prior level of success when you are moving towards your greatest success. And so if you're adverse to change, you're going to even be rejecting the better version of you, the better version of your own work product. And so I want to encourage you to be someone who becomes comfortable with success. Now watch this. I'm going to show you historically, as I bring this to conclusion, I'm going to share with you a historical account of Abraham Lincoln that I believe speaks so powerfully to the process of becoming that a lot of people don't realize. because I often tell the story about the monarch butterfly. It started out as a lowly worm crawling on the ground, a grub that nobody pays any attention to, that's ugly, that might even be stepped upon. Hey there, we had a power outage. I hope that those who were kicked off or jumped off will be able to come back. But I was about to share a brief account that I think serves well in painting the picture of what I mean by these 7 principles. And it is found in the journey of Abraham Lincoln, and so I want to share a 28-year snapshot of the life of Abraham Lincoln, and I think it should speak to all of us in some respect of what I mean about why we don't want to quit, why you don't quit, why I'm admonishing you and encouraging you, don't quit. Listen to this. In 1832, Abraham Lincoln lost his job, and in the same year was defeated in his effort to run for the state legislature. In 1833, he became a land surveyor. He was a postal worker, and he failed in a entrepreneurial endeavor that he had undertaken. He wanted to start a business, and that business failed. In 1834, he was elected to the state legislature. In 1835, his fiance died, right? So you see, there's a pattern of failures and disappointment and hardship, adversity, and then lost love. In 1835, his fiance died. In 1836, he became an attorney. But then in that same year, he had a nervous breakdown. In 1843, we jumped to 1843, he was defeated in his nomination for Congress. In 1846, he was elected to Congress. In 1848, he lost his reelection to Congress. In 1854, he was defeated for the U.S. Senate. In 1858, he was defeated again in a bid for the U.S. Senate. But then in 1860 is when he became the president of these United States. Now, guess what? In all that I just shared, there is more testimony of him being defeated. There's more testimony about him failing. There's more testimony about him missing the mark and coming up short. And I don't know who it is that will see this, who's listening right now, or who will see this, where you can relate to Lincoln because you've done more failing than you have succeeding. You've done more suffering than you have rejoicing. And I'm suggesting to you that this is one of the chief reasons why I'm saying to you today, on this, the second day of January in 2023, that no matter how many times you may have cried in 22, no matter how many times you have languished, no matter how many times you've missed the mark, you've fallen short, you've failed, this is not the time to quit. Because I'm telling you, you very well may be one step away from reaching the highest place of success that you have set for yourself. Or you may be even 5 steps away from the highest level of success that God himself has established for you, because you don't know who you're going to meet at the next depot, the next crossroad, the next time you're in the coffee shop that's going to be life transforming, that's going to be an altering situation for your life. And so imagine if Lincoln had given up when he was defeated the first time of the 4 times that he had run for, the 5 times that he had run for public office. He would never have reached the place of the Oval Office. And I'm saying to you that there's a scripture in Galatians chapter 6 and verse 9 that says, "Grow not weary in well-doing, for in due season you will reap if you do not faint." If you do not faint, if you don't give up, there is a reaping season that will have a seat at a table for you. The problem is that sometimes we don't handle disappointment. We don't handle frustration. We don't handle pain. We don't handle sorrow. We don't handle mistreatment and the maligning of our name and being talked about and being beat up on and being mishandled. We don't handle those things well as we ought to in seasons when we are immature. But I'm believing, I am hoping that in 2023, that there's going to be such a growth spurt in your life and that you will not make the same kinds of mistakes. And most importantly, you will not fail to learn from those mistakes in this coming season, because you will prosper if you do not give up. You will experience a greater success if you do not give up. Every success story that we can point to started as a seedling. It started as a small version of what it is becoming. Even in the vulnerable stage of a seedling, you can still find encouragement that you can draw on and carry you to a stronger place and a more fruitful place. And so in closing, my encouragement to you is, please don't quit. What you want is in front of you, and it's probably closer than you think. What you want is in front of you. And if you reach out right now, you may not grasp it. But if you keep going with an outstretched hand, eventually your hand is going to touch what it is that you're pursuing, because you're going to continue to work. You're going to continue to pursue as you continue to believe that your effort is not in vain. In 2023, I'm encouraging you to look to the hills. Look up. Your help is drawing nigh. You've got to hold on to hope and trust that help is on the way. Supporters are coming, that you're learning every step of the way. the kinds of lessons that are going to empower you to be productive and encouraging to somebody who's following in a similar path. Let your light shine. Let it be an inspiration to someone who's not been in the path as long as you have. Because again, quitting is the constant, guaranteed barrier to your success. So finally, don't quit. God bless you. I hope that I said something that will prick your mind, that will uplift your heart, that will empower your feet and your hands to continue to move and to act in the right direction towards your becoming. Happy New Year. God bless you. And we'll connect with you again real soon. Take care.